Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of The Perception Diet, and today I have the latest episode of Real Talk for Lightworkers for you, where we're going to talk about how to determine if you can be of assistance to someone on their path or not. All right, so this, of course, may turn into a series. There are definitely a couple of different things that I could talk about here, but today I really want to explore essentially what I think I personally have had one of the hardest times coming to terms with and coming to grips with this idea of when we are people who are awakening on our path, and when we are people who have discovered some things that actually work. This is how reality works, and it really worked for me, and I've kind of been through a journey or two, and I have some wisdom to share. We then, of course, always with this instinct that we have, we want to turn around and give it to people that we see out in the world who are struggling with what we used to struggle with. And I feel like that right in there is just like one of the most beautiful things about human nature. We truly do love each other. We really do care about each other. And I feel like it shows that when we really go through something tough and we go through something hard and we see ourselves through it and we come out the other side and we get good results and we feel like, okay, like I was in this place before and I'm not there anymore. We want to turn around and say, okay, how can I help those people who are still back there? And that's beautiful and that's wonderful and that's awesome, and that's what being a light worker is. It's simply just you saying, I want to be of service to people who are taking a journey that I've taken. And I think that another thing that I just kind of want to say before we really deeply get into this is, as someone who is here to assist others and who is working in that capacity, right, to essentially pass on the knowledge that you have gained through your journey to someone who's going through a similar journey, is that, you know, the biggest thing about that is that that's really what we're doing, is that we are simply, as light workers, saying, I've been where you are, I've tried a bunch of things, I've gone down a bunch of dead ends, I've figured out the tools that actually work and the tools that really don't, and I can help you essentially eliminate needing to do a whole big search for what's going to actually be the tools that are going to help you move forward. Yeah? And I can essentially be there as someone who's saying, I've essentially taken this journey, so when you run into things and you're like, oh my God, is this normal? Or this is happening to me, is this right? Or, right, we have those moments on our healing journeys and on our integration journeys when we're like, I don't know if this is right, this seems really scary, this seems really wrong, this seems like I'm going backwards, like what's going on here? And it's just so nice to have someone who's been through it, who's like, okay, that's totally normal. I went through that too. Totally a phase you have to go through, nothing's wrong, I'm here for you. That's really what a coach can do, right? Help you eliminate the tools that aren't going to work and help you get onto the tools that are going to work, and they can essentially provide some context for your journey. But and of course we can provide a kind of container for exploration, yeah, the processing of emotions and the getting through things and working stuff out and talking stuff out, and this is all a big part of it, and that's all lovely. But again, the big thing that I'm saying here, right, the big context of this is that as a light worker, as someone who is helping someone else, we first and foremost need to acknowledge we are not doing the work for anyone. We cannot remove a root from them. We cannot get them from where they are to where they're going. We can't make the journey easier. We can't make the journey different. We can't help them avoid the things they're gonna have to do, right? We can give them all the advice in the world, and sometimes they're gonna have to not take it and go this totally other route and figure out for themselves that it's not going to work, and then come back and say, okay, yeah, totally, that didn't work. Can we do what you wanted to do? Or whatever it is that you did. Right? We can't make the journey easier. We can't make the journey different. We can't make someone do the work. We can't do the work for anyone. That's what we need to understand, right? And we wouldn't want to. Because when you truly have been through your own journey and you see, I've been through this big journey and I've been through this big process, and I can see that it's all the work that I did, that made it worth it. It's not necessarily the end goal that made it great. It's the end goal was the result of everything that I did, and I wouldn't want to go back and have someone do it for me. I wouldn't want to go back and have it be easier. I wouldn't want to go back and have it be different, because then I wouldn't know what I know now, and I really enjoy what I know now. So this is what we need to kind of understand as light workers. We're not here to rescue people from their pain. We're not here to rescue people from their path. We're not here to rescue people from anything. That's not our job. And we wouldn't want to, right? When, like I say, when we have this wisdom, we understand, no, we want people to go through their pain. We want people to go through their suffering, because that's what's waking them up. That's the journey. Where we come in is when they get to the place where they're saying, okay, I see I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I need a little context. What tools worked for you? I can see that you have been on this journey that I have not yet been on. Can you help me find some tools to use? And that's where we have power, okay? So that's really, I think, a good place of context to start. That as a light worker, we're not removing anyone from their journey. We're not rescuing anybody from anything. We're not cutting anything from them. We're not clearing anything from them. We're not healing them. We're not doing integration for them, because that's all work they need to do and they have to do, yeah? We're not there to cut the butterfly out of the cocoon, because that just disempowers the butterfly. So when we start to get into doing this, right, like I say, you're going to find a lot of people out there, okay, and in two different ways, right? You're going to go out there and you're going to be like, whoa, all of a sudden now that I've been through this journey, or I'm going through this journey, and I've made some steps and I'm healing and I'm doing these things, I have some information, even just like a little bit more than the average person. All of a sudden, everyone in your reality, you're going to be like, holy smokes, you don't have it, you don't have it, you don't have it, you don't, like you're going to find all these people, right? It's going to seem like, holy smokes, there's all these people in my reality that need my help. They need these tools. Look at them suffering all over the place. And so that'll be one thing. There's gonna be that temptation to start running around like a chicken with your head cut off, giving tools to everyone, right? Oh, I see you're suffering. Here. Here. Don't do that. And again, it's innocent, it's lovely, but that's gonna be the instinct. And number two is people are gonna start to notice it in you, that you are at this different place. You have something they don't have. They can tell, they can feel it. There's this sense of like, well, okay, they're completely at a different level than me. I want to be where they're at. How did they get there? And they're going to be drawn to you, yeah? And they're going to want you to help them. And so it's that interplay. Now, where this gets sticky and where this gets tricky is in this point right here, okay? What we need to understand as light workers is there are only a small handful of people we can actually serve. And we, as hard as that is to take, and as hard as that is to understand, and as hard as it is to set boundaries for the people that are not going to be the people that you actually can serve, this is something that's so important, and I wish someone had told me, and I wish I hadn't had to figure this out by myself, but hey, again, like I say, right? The journey is what it is. I'm glad that I went through it. I really know this now, because I made so much mistake with this. So, right, I did do essentially what I'm going to tell you not to do. I really did it a lot, right? And that's why I'm making this video. So what we're going to discover, right, is that you're going to find that with all these people, right, the people that you're finding and the people that are finding you, that essentially could and would, from your perspective, benefit from the tools that you have learned and gained through your journey. And you see that people are going through a similar thing to you. You know you can help them end their suffering, or move through their suffering, integrate their suffering, learn what they're here to learn because you did it. You're going to find that there's two groups of people, okay? There's the victims that are still in victim mentality, and the people who are empowered and ready to wake up. And we need to understand that truly, truly, the only group we can serve is the people who are empowered and ready to wake up. We actually can't do anything for someone who's stuck in victim mentality. And that is why I'm saying this is kind of a hard pill to swallow, because most of the world is stuck in victim mentality right now, right? And essentially, as how I define victim mentality is that life is happening to me, I don't have any power, I'm still in my childlike consciousness, that I believe all my thoughts, like, right? Every negative thought I have, I believe. Every positive thought I have, I don't. I'm suppressing my emotions. I'm moving away from what I don't want to try to get the things that are going to make me comfortable, that I think are going to make me happy, and I'm looking for someone or something to rescue me from my pain. Yeah? And I need a guru. I want someone to save me. I want someone to fix me. I'm looking for that quick fix. I'm hoping there's just going to be like the session or the talk that one time or that one video or that one book that's just going to change my life and all of my problems are going to go away. That's victim mentality. It's all happening to me. There's a really easy solution, and I just need to find the right person who gives me the right answer or who can do it for me and give me that secret key, and then I'll be better. And when we find someone like that, like I say, they're going to be very attracted to you because they can sense that you do have an answer and you are in a place where they are not, and you have overcome and integrated what they have yet to overcome and integrate, and you're not suffering the way that they are suffering. And there's going to be this instinct in both of you for you to do it for them. All right? And so this is where, as light workers, we need to start getting very, very honest with ourselves about what's going on in the dynamic between anyone that we're attempting to serve. Okay? We need to get honest and say, okay, is this person standing up in their own path, asking you for tools, and then applying those tools, coming to you with questions about the tools, questions about the path, but are essentially empowering themselves to do the work and understanding that you are not going to do it for them. You are not going to rescue them. You're not going to save them. You're not going to have a session or two and everything's going to be different. They are realistic about, if I'm in trauma drama, right? If there's a lot of things going on in my life right now that I really don't like and I'm suffering a lot, this isn't going to be one thing that cures it. It isn't going to be a session or a couple of sessions or a tool or an insight. They are going to understand that this is going to be a journey that they're going to have to take and that you can't take it for them. And they truly are just relying on you for insight and tools and a little context. See? But if what is actually happening is the person is either continually asking for more from you, they need more information, whatever you have given, it's not enough. The tools you gave is not enough. The support you've given is not enough. It's this constant, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. They're in victim mentality. If there's a constant kind of, they are projecting their triggers onto you a lot, like you're having to really work through, okay, right? You feel like you have to be very delicate with your language and very delicate with what you say because you don't want to set them off and you don't want to say something wrong and you don't want to insult them, and they tell you you're making them feel bad and you're hurting their feelings and you're making this so harsh and why are you like this and why can't you just help me and what are you doing? You're not understanding me. If they start to kind of say like that, they're in victim mentality. If you're finding again that it's just no matter kind of what tool you give, they've got a reason why it's not going to work. They got a reason why they tried it, it was hard, and then they gave up, or they tried it and it didn't work because they tried it for a day or two or a week or whatever and it didn't work. They're not committed to trying, right? You're going to have this sense that they're laying down on the path and asking you to drag them. Yeah? And the other thing too, I think the biggest thing in victim mentality is that they're always going to have an argument for everything you have to offer. And so this is not to say that when you're working with someone that they might question you sometimes. Of course they should. That's a good, clear sign that someone's thinking. You want them to question you. However, if it's turned into every session is this debate and they just debate everything that you have to say, every tool you offer, they are going to tell you before even trying it how it's not going to work or why that doesn't apply to them or how that doesn't make sense or how you're wrong or it's this constant kind of, well, we're not getting anywhere because you genuinely just seem to not trust me at all as your coach. They're in victim mentality. And so what we need to realize is that, again, because the journey of integration and awakening and whatever you want to call it, maturation, coming into 5D, however you want to say it, is such a journey of doing actual work. It's really facing your own emotions. It's really facing your own thoughts. It's really facing all your false beliefs about reality and learning about how reality actually functions and integrating all those traumas so that you can live as the authentic version of yourself. We need to realize that that's the journey everyone's going to have to take. So if at any point someone is under the assumption that they're going to get from trauma drama to joy and bliss in a session or two, they're not understanding the journey. They're not understanding the process. They're not really ready to take responsibility for themselves. And so this is the kind of bottom line of it, is that you can't help anyone who is asking you to take responsibility for them. That is the bottom line, is that as soon as someone is waiting for you to fix them, who is waiting for you to give them an answer, who's hoping that a session or whatever with you is going to change things, who genuinely maybe even have this idea that just talking to you is going to make the difference, you can't help them. They're not ready yet to take responsibility for the fact that they have a lot of things going on in their lives that they're going to have to look at, and that they are going to have to do the work. That, again, you can give them tools and you will know this person. When you're working with someone that you can actually assist, it's going to feel like they're walking the path and you're just walking with them. You won't have to drag them. You won't have to convince them. You won't have to have a big intellectual debate every session. There won't be a bunch of them coming to you and telling you it didn't work, or it wasn't good enough, or they need more, or it's not enough. It's all this. They will be resourceful. They will be scrappy. Like, really, I kind of want to say, as I was going on my awakening journey, I had some coaches, I had some people that helped me along, but like, I really want to kind of get this point across, that I milked it for every last drop of what I was being given. There was never a moment in time where I felt like my coaches weren't helping me enough, or I wasn't being given enough tools, or I didn't have enough research. Like, literally at any point, if I found myself struggling or feeling like I didn't have what I needed, I assumed it was my responsibility to find it. It wasn't my coach's job to figure it out for me. And I knew that a whole bunch of what a coach could do for me was give me information, but still I was going to have to do the tough work of acting on that information. I was going to have to do the tough work of actually making a change. So again, it's like if you're having a nutritional consultation with somebody, someone who's in a victim mentality is genuinely coming to you saying, I've got all these diseases, I'm really not in a good state of health. Can you just give me that quick diet fix that I don't really have to change much, right? Like, can I just drink more water or something to make this all go away? And you're going to be like, well, okay, no, it's going to be a big thing. Like, you're going to have to go through a lot of changes. You're probably going to have to completely radically change the way that you eat. It's going to be a big process. I can guide you through it, but you're going to have to do the work. And they'll be like, nah, no. Right? It's just going to be well, that's not going to work. That's too hard. I can't do that. They're not going to be willing to do the work. And so that's kind of the bottom line is, it really is not dependent upon how much you know and how much you've been through, whether or not you can help somebody. That's a big part of it, right? The knowledge you have is definitely a huge part of how much you can serve someone, or essentially, right, provide context and guidance on a path. But the biggest determining factor is the place where the person you're looking at is at, okay? And so essentially what our work is to be honest with ourselves. Does it feel like I'm dragging this person along the path? Is this person asking me to do the work for them? Are they constantly feeling like I'm not giving them enough and it's not good enough and it's too hard and all this? Or is the person scrappy? Are they resourceful? Are they taking the things that I'm giving them, trying them out, giving them an honest good try, and coming to me and saying, okay, yeah, that really didn't work. Can we try something else? In an empowered way. Or I found something, them coming to you saying, well, I found something else, your thing didn't work. And that's what we want, right? Does it feel like they're walking with you, or like they're asking you to drag them? And if they're asking you to drag them, you can't. You're gonna have to say, okay, I'm here for you when you're ready. I'm totally happy to serve you at a different time, but right now, you don't want this. And that's really the bottom line. We have to be able to be honest with people and say, you don't really want this right now. You're not willing to do the work, so you're not really ready. And then we do the work of not judging that as wrong, because that's going to be our biggest thing as light workers, that we don't judge people for staying in victim mentality, that we just say, okay, that's their path, that's not wrong, they get to make that choice, and then I get to put up a boundary and just say, I can't help you, like, I don't have the magic ticket for you, it's going to be work, and until you're ready to do it, this isn't going to mean anything. All right, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.